Pepticon. Sure is good. You can get it anywhere in your neighborhood. A Pepticon. Sure is good. Pepticon. Sure is good. Pepticon. Sure is good. You can get it anywhere in your neighborhood. You can get it anywhere in your neighborhood. You can get it anywhere in your neighborhood. All right. Johnny Roy here with my 1953 El Capitan. And this might have been similar to the guitar that B.B. King played in his first job at a radio station in West Memphis. It was WDID, one of the first, if not the first, all-black music radio station in Memphis. And I think the station started in 1947, and I'm not exactly sure when B.B. King first applied for a job, but one of his first things was to make a commercial for Pepticon. And Pepticon was kind of a tonic, probably with high alcohol content, maybe, something like snake oil, but, and this is sort of the spirit of my channel here, Affiloblues, and the reason I wanted to do this this jingle written by B.B. King is that commercials in blues is not a new thing, and anyone who followed B.B. King's career knows that, he did all kinds of commercials, and later on in TV for diabetes, to check your blood sugar. I can't remember what the commercial was, but all kinds of things. That B.B. King never stopped doing commercials throughout his career. And he had, I would say, 4 or 5 main periods of his career, maybe 5 periods. In the 50s, he played kind of a broken up, more distorted kind of guitar sound, more raw, and then in the 60s, his style was much more refined, and he played a very clean sounding Gibson sound with occasionally special effects like heavy reverb or heavy vibrato. Usually, if he used an effect like that, it was heavy. Though he probably always used a little vibrato, but my favorite period of B.B. King was the mid-60s. There's an album called The Electric B.B. King, and maybe it's my favorite because it was my first B.B. King album that I bought when I was 15 years old, and I'm 66 now, and it still just blows me away. And when I first bought it, I didn't really care for it all that much. I thought, I don't know about this B.B. King, because I'd read in maybe an Eric Clapton interview or a Jimi Hendrix interview that they got a lot of their ideas from B.B. King. So that's the reason I checked it out, And plus I'd heard a blues band when I was 15 that mentioned B.B. King, and they did Rock Me Baby. They were from Cincinnati, and they were called Balderdash. And the guitar player in that band just blew me away. And I was 15 years old, just starting to play guitar, but I had played bass from the age of 12 in R&B bands, doing Wilson Pickett, Sam and Dave tunes, and things like that. So, but anyway, that's my favorite period of B.B. King is the 60s, and I'm still blown away every time I hear any of the songs from that period. And then in the 70s, after all the rock stars like Jimi Hendrix and, like I say, Eric Clapton talked about B.B. King in their interviews, then he became more part of the rock scene, and he was playing a little hotter guitar, very loud, very big arenas, kind of like Albert King did as well. And he would play the Fillmore and other rock arenas through the country, and he had a bigger sound then. And probably one of the best albums from that period, I think, is Live at Cook County Jail in Chicago, and I believe it's Chicago. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it is. Cook County Jail, Live at Cook County Jail. That's a great B.B. King album. And then after that, he went through a different kind of refined period where he was playing in Las Vegas regularly. And I saw him around that period at Bogart's in Cincinnati, and all the band had really light complected tuxes. I mean, they were all dressed to the nines. And B.B. King, I've seen B.B. King maybe 5 times throughout. I mean, the first time was a concert in a big venue like Louisville Gardens, and then at Bogart's, and that was probably the best. I mean, he was on top of his game, and then after that, the later period when he got older, and he was for the most part sitting down. He could no longer stand up and do a show, but he was still doing some great guitar. So B.B. King, one of the first blues advertisers in that radio station in the 50s, early 50s, WDID, and his Pepticon commercials. Pepticon sure is good, Pepticon sure is good, Pepticon sure is good. You can get it anywhere in your neighborhood. Pepticon sure is good, Pepticon sure is good, Pepticon sure is good.